If you're feeling overwhelmed by what to include in your bakery website, watch this video for 5 things you need to have. For Stress-Free Cake Business Tips, don't forget to hit subscribe and click that bell to be notified whenever I post new videos. I hear this a lot from bakers. They're just super overwhelmed by creating a website. They think they need to code and put in lots of information and they don't know where to start, but I'm here to tell you it doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need to hire a designer, especially if you're in the beginning stages of your bakery, and you really don't need to code. This is not an ad, but I personally love using Squarespace. It is super easy to use and I'm not tech savvy and I really like it. So if I can understand the ins and outs, I'm sure you can too. So if you're looking for something that is super easy to use and they have amazing templates and they're always rolling out with new ones, make sure to check that out. I'll leave a link below. All right, so let's get into the very first thing that you need to have in your website, an email list opt-in. I have said this so many times that you need to have an email list. In order to get their email though, don't just say sign up for my newsletter or something very general or vague like that. Have something very specific to incentivize them to sign up. That can either be a discount like 10% off your first order or sign up to receive this recipe. Think about something that will cause them to really want to sign up. So the second thing you need to have is a menu. So your website is basically like your digital storefront. People need to know what you offer, right? So have your full menu and please include prices. This doesn't have to be the exact price, especially if you do custom cakes, but at least have like a starting at price so that you can push away clients who can't afford you or are looking for something cheap. Having a price on your menu also means that you'll be saving yourself time. So what I mean by this is that sometimes people will look on your website, see what you have to offer, and then they'll email you what your prices are to see whether or not you're a good fit for them. But by responding to them, that is taking time away from you baking or creating or running your business. So in the long run, having prices on your website, either on your menu or on another tab, that's going to help you save time. All right, the third thing you need to include is a gallery. Now, this doesn't have to be every single cake or dessert that you've made, but put up your best work. Obviously, since this is your website, you want it to look professional. So I don't recommend putting up a random picture that you took right before handing it off to your client. I would recommend hiring a photographer to take high quality pictures of your work because people eat with their eyes first. And because this is your website and this is the very first impression that clients are getting of you, you want to make sure you're putting your best work out there. A lot of the times people can make the most beautiful cakes, but if the lighting is off or the angle is weird and there's weird shadows and all of that, it can really be a turnoff for someone who pays really close attention to detail. You can even devote one full day or a weekend and just create all of your best designs and have someone come to take pictures of it and then put it out there. Okay, so the fourth thing you need in your website is a way for customers to contact you or have an order form of some sort. This order form should be as specific as possible and include a lot of questions that will save you and your customer time. If you can get the most important information from the get-go, then you don't have to waste time later trying to figure out small details that you could have just known up front. All right, so the last thing you need in your website is an about page. People love knowing and connecting with the person behind the business. This isn't just about cakes. People love connecting with you. So have an about page, put a high quality headshot of you up on your website, preferably one where you're looking straight at the camera. This is especially important for clients who book you for a really large project, such as a wedding cake. You're going to be speaking with them and developing a relationship over an extended period of time. So they want to make sure that they're working with someone that they feel comfortable with and that they can really get along with. So include some fun facts about yourself in your about page. All right, so those were 5 things that you need to have in your website, but I'm going to give you 3 bonuses or optional items that you can also include. So the first thing is to include a reviews or a testimony section. This is really important because people want to see what others have said about your work. Another bonus is to include an FAQs page. So a lot of bakers will include an FAQ section, such as how to store your cake or how best to serve your cake, things like that. So if you notice that you've been getting a lot of similar questions among your clients, you can create a section on your website so that, again, this avoids you having to communicate with them back and forth. You can just send them a link so that if they do ask one of those commonly asked questions, you can direct them to your website. One last optional item is to have a blog. So a lot of bakers love putting up recipes or tips and tricks, blogging about their creative design process, how they came up with this one cake idea or flavor. There's a lot of different ways you can use a blog, but having consistent blog content on your website also helps with your SEO and driving more traffic to your site. So no matter what you put in your website though, make sure that you are intentional with your branding. So the fonts you use, the colors, even your language, all of it should represent you and your brand, and make sure that you are using all of this to speak to your ideal client. If you like this video, don't forget to click like, hit subscribe, and don't forget to grab all of my free resources listed below.